November 18, 2019. The notice requirements provided for in the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied. Notice of this meeting was properly given by transmission to the Star Ledger, the Independent, and the Two River Times, and by posting at the Middletown Township Municipal Building, and filing with the Township Clerk on January 10, 2019. Committeeman Hybel.
Here.
Committeeman Sedembrino.
Here.
Committeewoman Snell. Here. Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Here.
Mayor Perry.
Here.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'd like to ask for a moment of silence to honor the troops serving worldwide, defending our constitutions, freedoms, and way of life. Thank you. First on tonight's agenda, we have some proclamations. Proclamation recognizing December 2019 as National Impaired Driving Prevention Month in Middletown Township, for the record. And then we also have a proclamation declaring December 7th, 2019 as Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day in Middletown Township, for the record. This time we have approval of minutes for October 21st, 2019 regular meeting.
Motion to approve. Second.
Committeeman Hybel.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedembrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snell. Yes. Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to approve the minutes. At this time, we have public hearing of proposed ordinances. Our first ordinance for public hearing, 2019-3269, Township of Middletown, County of Monmouth, ordinance authorizing all-way stop at intersection of Cooper and Bowne Roads.
Any member of the public wishing to speak on public ordinance number 2019-3269? That is an ordinance allowing for authorizing a all-way stop at Cooper and Bowne Road. Bowne, I'm sorry. Seeing no member of the public, move to close public portion and approve. Second.
Committeeman Hybel.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedembrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on second and final reading. Our next ordinance for public hearing, 2019-3270, an ordinance amending Chapter 465-95 of the Code of the Township of Middletown prohibiting parking on Overton Drive.
Any member of the public wishing to speak on public ordinance number 2019-3270? That is a prohibition of parking on Overton Drive. Seeing no member of the public, move to close public portion and approve.
Second.
Committeeman Hybel.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedembrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on second and final reading. Our first ordinance for introduction tonight, we have ordinance 2019-3271, an ordinance authorizing granting of certain deeds of easement upon portions of township-owned property pursuant to the Brereton Bay and Sandy Hook Bay Hurricane and Storm Damage Reduction Project, Port Monmouth, New Jersey, Phase 2, Contract 4.
Motion to introduce.
Second.
Committeeman Hybel.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedembrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on first reading with a public hearing to be held at our next meeting on December 2nd, 2019. Our next ordinance for introduction, 2019-3272, an ordinance authorizing granting of certain deeds of easement upon portions of township-owned property pursuant to the Brereton Bay and Sandy Hook Bay Hurricane and Storm Damage Reduction Project, Port Monmouth, New Jersey, Phase 2, Contract 5.
Motion to introduce.
Second.
Committeeman Hybel.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedembrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on first reading with a public hearing to be held December 2019. Our next ordinance for introduction, 2019-3273, an ordinance approving Ideal Beach settlement and acquisition.
Motion to introduce.
Second.
Committeeman Hybel.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedembrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on first reading with a public hearing to be held December 2nd, 2019. Our next ordinance, 2019-3274, an ordinance authorizing easements to mark Middletown.
Motion to introduce.
Second.
Committeeman Hyla.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on first reading with a public hearing to be held December 2nd, 2019. Our next ordinance for introduction, 2019-3275, a bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $119,000 for various capital improvements by and for the Township of Middletown in the County of Monmouth, New Jersey, and authorizing the issuance of $113,050 in bonds or notes of the Township for financing part of the appropriation.
Motion to introduce.
Second.
Committeeman Hyla.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on first reading with a public hearing to be held December 2nd, 2019. This time we have ordinance 2019-3276, a bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $1,153,000 for various capital improvements by and for the Township of Middletown in the County of Monmouth, New Jersey, and authorizing issuance of $1,095,350 in bonds or notes of the Township for financing part of the appropriation.
Motion to introduce.
Second.
Committeeman Hyla.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on first reading with a public hearing to be held December 2nd, 2019. Our next ordinance for introduction, 2019-3277, a bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $5,145,000 for improvements to Normandy Park turf fields by and for the Township of Middletown in the County of Monmouth, New Jersey, and issuance of $4,887,750 in bonds or notes of the Township for financing part of the appropriation.
Motion to introduce.
Second.
Committeeman Hyla.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on first reading with a public hearing to be held December 2nd, 2019. At this time, I'd like to ask the Township Committee to adopt a consent agenda, which would include resolutions 19-256 through 19-267, including raffle and bingo applications.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Committeeman Hyla.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt consent agenda. At this time, we have the Township Committee acting as the ABC issuing authority. We have Resolution 19-268, a resolution authorizing renewal of plenary retail consumption license 1331-33-027.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Committeeman Hyla.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt Resolution 19-268. This time, we have Township Committee comments.
Committeeman Hyla.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to thank everyone here at the town for electing me again for 3 years. I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. So thank you. It was a busy month. I was just touching a few things. Noticed the fire chiefs here. We had a structure fire in the Yarrow. Fabulous job. I know you guys had some battles there and issues. And I also want to thank our community assistance network that helped the family get a place to stay and helped them get back on their feet. The Veterans Day Parade was also amazing, and the actual Veterans Day at the VFW Post was a fun day too. Myself and the mayor attended, and that's it.
Committeewoman Snell.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd also like to congratulate Rick and Kevin on the re-election, and I'm excited to continue serving the people of Middletown with them. On November 8th, Fort Monmouth Firehouse paid tribute to 7 members of their Ladies Auxiliary with a dinner at the Shore Casino. These 7 ladies have been raising money for 95 years. They started in 1924. One member, Jane Thompson, is a 65-year life member. I was honored to attend the dinner with them and meet these amazing ladies and to celebrate an unbelievable service to both Port Monmouth Fire Company and all the residents of Middletown. I attended the second Board of Education Strategic Planning Forum on November 13th. Continuing down, they have an agenda, each meeting they have, and they're going to collect all of the info, and it seems to be a good meeting come the third and final meeting, which is to be held at South on Wednesday, December 11th. I urge you to attend. There's some good information there, and it's always good to keep in line with what's going on with the Board of Ed and what they're trying to do to make everything work for the next 5 years. Lastly, I'd like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I know it's right around the corner, and I just hope you all enjoy some really precious time with family and friends. That's all I have here. Thank you.
Thank you. Committeeman Senabrino.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to take a moment to congratulate my running mate, Committeeman Hivell, for a great victory. The good news is that you don't have to run a third year in a row next year. 2 years in a row is enough.
A little kitty, he's going to miss it.
And I want to thank the people of Middletown for re-electing me to my 4th term as well. I appreciate the support. A couple other items on November 2nd. I did attend with the mayor and Committeewoman Snell and Hivell. Committeeman Hivell, the Westminster Presbyterian Church Peal of Flags. If you've seen it when you were passing by, I think this is now about 2 weeks ago, it's hard to miss. Reverend Hine does a great job every year of reminding Middletown of the service that our veterans have provided to us, and an understanding that freedom isn't and wasn't free. Reminds us of this each and every year. Great service, and we commend the Reverend for doing this every year. On 11/3/19, similarly, we did have our Veterans Day parade. And it's a great tribute to all in town that have served in the wars. One thing to understand is that it allows our younger people in town to understand again that freedom isn't free, and it takes time out of your day to contemplate that. So we appreciate all the veterans that have given their time to this great country. Last item, just have a great Thanksgiving. It's hard to believe that it's already here. Enjoy it. Spend time with your family, and probably one of the only non-retail holidays there are of the year. It's my favorite holiday because you don't have to worry about buying gifts, preparing things. You spend time with the family, and it's something that we should all cherish. So, Mayor, thank you very much.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Thank you, Mayor. I will also would like to publicly congratulate my 2 colleagues here, Committeeman Senabrino and Committeeman Hivell, on their election in November. I look forward to continuing to serve with you both. You were both great volunteers and community servants, and very proud of your re-election a few weeks back. Committeeman Hivell mentioned, clearly the fire chiefs are here. There was a major fire recently, and I believe it was Leonardo, and something that I think the committee, and I know Committeeman Hivell, when I spoke to the chiefs, should consider is one of the things that you learn in this experience is that sometimes, we have a lot of ordinances that we pass and building codes and things like that, and sometimes there's new technology out there. So, in that one fire, I believe, was very difficult for the fire department because of solar, and how every square inch, if I'm not mistaken, Chief here, was pretty much covered on that roof, which made, access to that roof and fighting that fire more difficult, and potentially putting lives potentially at risk when they can't fight into their training. So I don't know if there are guidelines or ordinances, and I'd ask the administrator, I'd ask Mr. Committeeman Hivell, who has tremendous experience in this, and the township attorney, should we be considering, or is there any legality of us considering certain I don't want to want to say easements, but certain requirements that would allow, some portion of those roofs to not be completely covered by those solar panels to potentially create a more dangerous issue for our volunteer fire department and for public safety. So I don't know if that's necessarily something we can do, but something that we might want to talk to the fire chief here as a committee and the chief's ranks to see if that's something that would make us safer, because clearly in conversation with the chiefs and Committeeman Heibel, that made that situation that much worse. And we have a bunch of schools right now that are going to have a lot of solar panels on them too that we have to be worried about. So just something to think about as technology continues to evolve. One of the things that is relatively new, I know there's a huge, and there has been for a number of years, a huge recycling campaign here in town, and I thank the DPW and recycling coordination efforts for putting cardboard recycling now and a few other recycling containers specific to the Middletown train station. So now residents will not have to go to Canes Lane if they have cardboard. They can actually distribute or recycle that cardboard directly at the train station. I know the mayor has been very much involved in the potential, the new potential for styrofoam recycling that's going to also be there, and that will be pretty innovative. So thank you to DPW for getting that done. And just on a final note, it was great to take time to spend time with our veterans and those who really have done and given a great sacrifice to defend our freedoms and way of life by defending this country and everything that makes this country so great. So I again thank them, and I was honored to be part of their festivities and parade. And I wish all of you a very happy Thanksgiving, as my colleague committee Snell is also done. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Just wanted to, I'll echo my colleagues' comments. Rick and Kevin, congratulations. I'm not going to go any farther than that, I'll get to your head. But I just want a couple quick reminders. December 8th, Sunday, December 8th, it will be our Christmas tree lighting at the Middletown Arts Center. So hope you can attend. Of course, I didn't give you the time.
3 to 5.
What time is it? Thank you, Maureen. 5 o'clock. So I hope all of you will be able to join us for that. There's a group of residents right up here in the front row that started coming to my office hours in, I would probably say, February. And I want to thank you all for your patience. We finally got there, and we were able to prohibit parking over on Overton Avenue. And I know it's been a long time coming, but we, all of us up here, appreciate your patience and your dialogue with us. I say it all the time, Middletown is 42 square miles with 377 miles worth of roadway. It's tough to know all the ins and outs of each and every one of those roads. But for the last, last few office hours, you've been coming, and we've been working collaboratively together, and I appreciate your board, your residents, and your patience as we work through this. And I want to thank my colleagues for working with me and working collaboratively together to achieve the issues that were over there on Overton. So thank you all very much. I appreciate your dialogue and your patience. So thank you. I want to congratulate and thank Chief Schweitzer, Deputy Chief Mount, who are back there on Saturday, despite the freezing cold, because one thing that we know, doesn't matter what the temperature is outside or what the conditions are, Middletown Fire Department is there in action, despite the fact that I was freezing to death out there at the Fire Academy. We were there to see our 10 fire recruits graduate through the class, and later that night the fire department was able to present them with their helmets. Graduating 10 recruits for the fall 2019 classes, so I want to thank you both Chief Schweitzer, thank you very much for your leadership and everything that you're doing for the fire department. I couldn't have asked for a more dedicated chief in my 11 months in the first year as mayor. So, Chief Steve, thank you. Thanks for all that you do. And I just want to end with this. A few months ago, I thoroughly enjoyed going to so many of our Police Youth Week camps. This camp is the best bargain any parent can get for their child for 1 week in the summertime, where hundreds of children spend a full week really going through the rigors of what it means to be a police officer. They get to go to Sandy Hook, they get to beat people up with nightsticks safely. They get to see the Coast Guard helicopter. It's really an unbelievable experience. For $35, it sells out in a heartbeat. And for 1 week, that's $35 for the week. You can't find that bargain anywhere. But in one of my last graduation ceremonies, a little boy graduated. His name was Luca Iacono. He, at the time, was 10 years old. And you might have seen him on ESPN or ABC for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. He got to spend a whole day at Yankee Stadium with Aaron Judge and Dee Gregorius, and as a Phillies fan, it absolutely kills me to see that. But, and I'm looking at Russ Mount back there, who's a Braves fan, so I can't even look at you right now, Russ. But the reason I bring this up is because Luca was diagnosed with a rare form of lung cancer, and he was smiling from ear to ear when he graduated from this Police Youth Week a few months ago. He lost his battle with cancer over the weekend, and I get a message on Facebook from one of our police officers in town whose daughter goes to Harmony, went to Harmony with Luca. And after meeting Aaron Judge and Dee Gregorius and Brian Cashman and all these unbelievable Yankees, he sends me this message and a picture that I had never seen before of myself and Luca. And he said, "Mayor, I just wanted to let you know that unfortunately Luca lost his battle with cancer." And this was his profile picture. And it was a picture of me and him. So after meeting such famous baseball players, his profile picture was a picture of me and him. And I can't imagine what it is like to lose a child, but I just want to say, I think I can speak on behalf of all the members of the Township Committee up here, saying that our prayers are with Luca's family and with the Harmony School community, and hope that his suffering has ended. So with that being said, I'll open it up for public comments. Before I do, please keep your comments to 5 minutes. I'll ask that you just state your first and last name for the record and address, and at 4 minutes I will let you know when you have 1 minute left. So if you can begin to wrap up your comments, it would be most appreciated. With that being said, any member of the public wishing to make a public statement? Yes, zoom out.
My name is Marilyn O'Malley, 4 Indian Terrace in Locust. I'm here on behalf of John McDonald, who's the president of Hartshorn Woods Association, our community, over on Hartshorn Road, and also numerous members of the Hartshorn Woods Association. The residents of John McDonald are over at the Park Commissioners meeting this evening to talk about the Portland Place development. So what I'd like to do is give you all an update. On Friday, there was a meeting at Portland Place for several residents and the park commissioners, and they gave a presentation and it gave us residents an opportunity to air our concerns with the development. Mm-hmm. And one of the obvious concerns we have is with the roads, not just Hartshorn Road, but obviously some of the county roads as well. The response that we got back from the park commissioners and their representatives was disappointing. It was basically the safety and traffic issues are not our concern because it's not our road. It's a town road. So some of you, maybe all of you, are familiar with the particular area that I'm talking about. This is Portland Place right here. Hartshorn Road is a single, no outlet road. This is Clay Pit Creek. This is Buttermilk. So the issue, quite frankly, is they're kind of squeezing Hartshorn Road from all angles here. They're doing a massive development over at Clay Pit for about 50 parking spaces. And then here, depending on what day of the week it is, it's either 25 parking spaces or it's, I think it's currently 18.
Right. 17.
Okay, here. The real issue is what they're doing with Buttermilk. It's a very popular area. The hikers and bikers absolutely love it. It's easy access to Route 36. It's got great sight lines. You can see, drive down there, you see all the parking lots full. You can keep going, not a problem. Our concern, obviously, is they're talking about downsizing that. They've got 3 parking lots over there, but 2 are like ad hoc. So the last I heard is that they were downsizing that. They're going to make the 50 parking spaces over here. But the hikers and the bikers have to cross Hartshorn Road on foot. Right now, there's like this little tiny, little tight stop sign. I mean, that's all that's there. And then obviously, if you've driven down this road, as I know some of you have, it's a pretty crazy road. Very poor sight lines. Sometimes a UPS truck and a car can't, approach certain areas at the same time. It would be nice if we had pedestrian lanes, if we widened it, and we had pedestrian and bike lanes, if we had pedestrian overpasses. The other issue, of course, is if you put any sort of parking lot here, it's premier access to the trails. So whether you have a formal access point there or not, people are going to be all over it. And then obviously you've got the issue of the causeway, which Ted is very familiar with. So you're going to get overflow traffic and people wandering up and down the street. So essentially this road is it's like putting 10 pounds of sausage in a 5-pound bag. I mean, it just can't handle. And like I said, if they expanded Buttermilk, it would relieve a lot of the pressure from the other 2. So now that the park's position seems to be, it's not our road, then we're going to look to you all to solve this problem. So to me, and they're charging full steam ahead. So we need to hire a traffic planner or designer or consultant or whatever, but something needs to happen with the road.
So, thank you, Mrs. O'Malley. As you may or may not know, the Deputy Mayor and the Township Administrator and I went out there and we met with Ms. Hutton.
Yes.
We met with Mr. Rummel, who's the chairman of the Parks Board. I was going to let the Deputy Mayor take over the meeting tonight, but when I found out, I guess Friday or early this morning, I can't remember for certain, that they were going to be taking no action on Hartshorn. Obviously, my first obligation has to be here. If they were, I would have 100% not come to this meeting tonight and gone over with your neighbors over there. So I'm very familiar with the area. And as I said, Deputy Mayor Fiore and I, along with Tony Mercatante, went over and we were explained what the vision, what the outline, the goal over for the site, Mr. Sykes' property was. I can assure you, it was, well, let me say this, it was not a pleasant meeting for the county. Let me just say that. If you've seen Tony Fiore in action, it sometimes doesn't go all that well. But when you say that you want to have an area for 75 people to congregate, but only want to have 25 parking spaces, and then when Deputy Mayor Fiore asks, well, how does that math work? And their response is, well, we anticipate 2 people for every car. Okay, well, that's interesting math. how that math works. So we expressed many of our concerns. I know that Maureen that works in the mayor's office has been in constant communication with Mr. McDonald.
Yes. Yes.
And I appreciate all of your patience out there. I can tell you that freeholder director are known. I've been in constant dialogue, I was just with this morning, about this issue. And I can tell you that he really has some grave concerns about this. I can tell you that Sheriff Golden has concerns about this, about safety over there, given the fact that there is no street lamps, no lighting down. There's cause for, some issues to be out there. The proposed, alignment of TAMVAT with the egress, ingress of the property was of concern, and then you have the causeway, obviously, which it's, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful parts of our entire town.
It is.
And I understand that there's a bald eagle that is nesting out there. Well, I assume there's two because they're nesting, so that's a good point. Thank you for correcting that. But I can assure you that that we have interjected ourselves, because I will say that I was thoroughly embarrassed, and I'm willing to say that when Mr. Gaffey came to, Tom Gaffey, when he came to a meeting, I think back in September, and October, I'm sorry, and we knew nothing about it. And the response that we got from the county was, well, we've changed our procedure, so you'll know when we do this. I said, well, that's wonderful, and I'm so glad that this epiphany came to your head, but that doesn't help me today with this project. So we will continue to monitor the workings of the Monmouth County Parks Commission, and I can tell you that if any action is taken with regards to that project, whether it is on a township committee meeting or not, I will be the first one with my hand in the air to speak on behalf of the people of Harshman Woods.
Appreciate it very much.
Thank you,
Yes,
Mr.
thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you. Any other member of the public wishing to make a public comment? Yeah, John.
No, I'm kind of late, so pretty sure I missed a lot.
That's okay. No problem.
I just want to,
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Justin, 91 Wellington Avenue. Just want to congratulate Mr. Senator on the re-election victory. One thing that I noticed was one of the candidates said somewhat offensive comment towards the police. And, I think I really appreciate both sides really condemning the comment. But I think it's, I think it's important as elected officials and as us normal citizens that I think we have patience and we cooperate with people who don't have favorable opinions towards police. I think it's, I just want to say that I think it's important that we try to build each other up, that with the hope that more people in the community, hopefully all of us, will be supportive of law enforcement, especially in making the community safer. So I think that's what I want to say.
Thank you, John. I think that everyone up here would agree with you 100%. Thank you. Thanks, John. Any other member of the public wishing to make a public comment? Seeing no other member of the public stepping forward, move to close public portion and adjourn.
Second. Mayor Hagel.
Yes.
Mayor Freeman.
Yes.
Mayor Winston.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Petrie.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes. Have a great night, everybody.